Hello, me again. I won myself a soda. Now this will probably take me several hours to finish, if not all day or 2 days. How did I win it? I exceeded my water goals for the last week. The last week being 7-day week. I exceeded my water goals, therefore I'm rewarding myself. However, I did not get my protein goals last week. Therefore, I don't get any candy today. No chocolate. I love chocolate. No chocolate. I have already started this wreath. We are making, it's the same day, that's why the shirt's the same. We are making crafts for Gail Crabtree. I will link her channel in the description box. In October, she's having a auction for service, to raise money for a service dog. She has to raise $5,000 for the dog, which is actually quite cost effective for this type of dog. It can go above $25,000 to $30,000. She's only got to raise $5,000. That's actually a very good price. But she's also got to travel from Virginia to Concordia, Kansas, and stay there for 5 to 10 days to be trained. So she needs hotel fees, she needs food. They provide your own food, your own hotel, your own transport. All that's on you. So we're trying to help her raise some money. And the auction will close, I think, the first week of November. So we're doing a Christmas wreath. Now, I fudged up. That's the back of the wreath. That's not how I fudged up. I want to show you something. I wanted to use this bells, but they had a problem. They were heavy, very heavy. So I needed a way to secure them so that I could use them. So I used zip ties to hold them in place, and then I glued them down. And then on the back, I put the battery pack for this string of lights. Now these are fairy lights, and they should have been twice this length. I messed up. I had a knot in the wire. This one is actual wire. And I couldn't see it to get it out, and it broke. So that shortened the length of my lights. That's okay. So what I did is I got the lights on, and I secured the ring is up here. I'm using it to hold, glue other things too. But we got the lights and we got the bells. And then I put some pine cones down here at the bottom with these berries. That's all I've done so far. And if you've made a wreath before, you should be able to get that far. But if you've got something that you're making a wreath with, that is heavy, okay, and you have a way to use zip ties to secure it as well as the glue, that's a really good idea, so the weight won't fall off, basically. I've got some scented glittered pine cones. Now if you're into crafts, after Christmas, and I'm talking after Black Friday, I don't do that. After Christmas, during January is a really good time. February, really good too. That's when they've got everything Christmas flash 25 to 75% or more. So that's when I grab these. I love how they smell. They're scented glittered pine cones. That's how I grab like poinsettia flowers. That's how you can grab a lot of your crafting supplies, is after any major holiday. Hold on. After any major holiday, they're going to have a sale to get rid of the stuff for that holiday. There we go. And so what you're doing is you're utilizing that sale to get your crafting supplies so that you're not spending a ton, on your crafting supplies, and then your family's like, Did you spend all this on that stupid wreath stuff? But now, see, I don't have to report to anybody because I'm not married. Give me a sec, folks. I'm looking for something. There it is. I found it. Now, you can utilize to make any season you want. If you want to go seasonal, fine. If you want graduation because someone's graduating, the fun thing to be doing would be the school colors. Make the wreath in the school colors. And then get some letters, and you can even cut them out, or get some of the wooden letters and spell them out. Or just, put happy graduation or something on it. You can get packs of these little ornaments, cut the thing that ties it to the tree off, and you can put them on the wreath. The sky is the limit. This is your imagination. This is your playground. You don't have to explain why you want something or anything. You just go for it, kid. And even if someone else says, that's awful, well, it's not theirs. Don't let their opinion drag you down. Found what I was looking for. When you have a large gap. Because right here, I've got the pine cone and the little present and stuff, but I don't know if putting another pine cone would be good or not. Now, see, I like that, so that's probably what we'll do. Get over here. But if you don't like that, you can use a bigger flower or whatever. You could use a dove. And in fact, I think I like that better. Like, what do you think? Or you could put the dove, go to the back of the wreath and tuck it in the back here. Put it right there. You could put it right there. You could, whatever. And when you got these bells, it's sometimes good to hold them when you lay them down so they don't clank or whatever. Now, I've got this red pine cone. I think we're going to have a trio of pine cones. I took interior design in high school. I wanted psychology, and it was only half a semester. So the only other half a semester class at the time that was offered was interior design or art. I should have went with the art, but I knew I'm not technically a good artist, good to draw and stuff. This is my art. Painting ceramics is my art, but that was a drawing class. Now, if I could do it over, I would probably take the drawing class. I didn't learn much interior design, but they did teach us that in interior design, odd numbers, 3s, 5s, when you're putting together a centerpiece, is preferred over even numbers because it looks more appealing. I just put quite a bit of hot glue on the bottom, and there. We've got our pine cones, we got our berries, we've got the bottom. Now, I'm strictly going for a Christmas type of thing here. So this is going to be for, like I said, the craft sale, and it's going to be a Christmas. Now, if you've got a flower that's beat up like this one, you can use that. We're going to put glue on the stem part right here, all right? All around that, cover that glue. Because I have previously wire wrapped, or twine wrapped the wire wreath. We're going to stick the stem down through the twine. This is what I do when I'm watching TV. I wrap wreath forms in twine. Sometimes I'll just sell the wrapped wreath form to others who don't want to bother with the twine because I find it soothing. So now I'm just going to stick it through and I'm going to stick it through at an angle so it goes down in without poking through the other side. Now this little flower is beat up. It is. But we're going to work with it instead of tearing it up or throwing it away. I've told you before, when you're gluing fake flowers, if you go down the back vein of the petal, it'll be easier. So we're going to glue that petal down because it likes to stick up. And so does this one. So let's put a little glue on it and glue it down to the wreath form. All right, this isn't going to look perfect, but I don't believe that there is beauty in imperfection. There is beauty in imperfection, so that's what we're going to use. I've got a little bag here, and these are full of these little red poinsettias. Usually I use very small flowers as hole fillers. This is what our hole fillers are going to be, are these poinsettias. I've got some medium poinsettias. I've told you before, use different flower sizes. But now when we're doing this, we're going to put the big stuff on the wreath first. Always put your big stuff on your wreath form before your small stuff. Now, see how this stem is smaller, shorter? This one won't have to go in at an angle like that. We can stick it straight down because it's not going to poke out the back of the wreath form. Be cognizant of how deep your wreath form is and how long your decorations are so it's not poking out the back. And we just poke it through and it catches on the twine and it'll be just fine. Now this one isn't going to be very lit up because most of my lights right now are Halloween or spring. It would have been more lit up if I had not broken the lights. I got these off wish.com and the wire broke. It did not break because of wish.com. These are really good lights. They broke because I got them tied in a knot. And I didn't have good enough vision to see it before I broke it. So that's how that goes. But that's fine. We'll work with it. I'm going to see if we have another red poinsettia and balance it out. But like I said, even if you've got another red poinsettia, but it's really bad looking or sad looking, you can glue down some of the more sad looking leaves and then put some fillers in with it. I'll show you with this purple one. We're going to take some of those small fillers and we're going to cover up some of the imperfections. Kind of like a makeup artist, covering up imperfections when they do makeup. And one of the leading makeup artists for science fiction and horror and all that is a guy, actually. And he worked on Star Trek and Star Wars. I can't remember his name. It's going to drive me buggy. But, you know, you can do this, guy or girl, is my point. And kids love using their hands. So if you've got Christmas memories you might want to share with your kids, instead of just sitting them down and telling them, which would be a great bedtime story, instead of reading a book, sometimes at bedtime, go back in your memory files and give them a story of when you were a kid, a good memory, and tell those stories. Because if we don't tell those stories, they get lost. But you could do this, and while you're crafting something for your own home, for your door, because the kids would be really proud if mommy hung what they made on their front door. And command hooks work really good on most all doors. Just don't get the off-brand if you're going to hang a wreath from it, especially if you don't have a screen door, because the glue won't hold on the Dollar Tree or Dollar General brands, even the Walmart brands. You really do need actual command hooks. But talk to them about your stories, your personal life stories, and let that be passed down from parent to child. We need that in our lives. I'm looking to see what kind of, if I've got another white one with the silver trim on it, but I don't see it. I need to buy more white poinsettias, but that's okay. We'll use this one. I think this one actually does match that other one. Sometimes I do like to match. Sometimes I can't stand it, and I love to change it up. All right, we got our big poinsettias in. All right, now I'm gonna pick this up. Here it is so far. And you may like just that, but I'm not done yet. And I like bells when you're putting a wreath on the door. I'm big on sound, and I like to put bells on there so that I can hear if someone is coming in the house. Okay, we've got this little, it's not a poinsettia, but it's just a little flower, and we're going to take that, we're going to take this, we're going to take this little one right here, and we're going to keep decorating. So let's, yeah, sometimes I do just sit there and poke them somewhere to see where I think that'd be good, where the little flower needs to be. Now this one, it's a little sad. See how it's kind of, but we can work with that. But when you're putting the glue on this part, see how I'm holding it with the petals in my hand, and I'm holding it by the green plastic part? That's to keep the petals out of the glue until I see if I need to glue a petal. And don't be shy with the hot glue. Don't be shy with the hot glue. Yeah, but be careful, you might burn yourself. Lift up your petals so you can get this in, poke it through the twine on the wreath form. And now, drop your big petals back behind there and push it. You're going to have to adjust it. And then just let that, now, pick it up and see if that droops at all, if it feels like it looks like it might need more glue. You know, push it in a little more. Make sure it's set. If you're happy with it, then fine. If you think it needs more glue or something, you can always glue it to the petals directly underneath it. Okay? Now, I like this one. This one's already right here at the top, but I'm going to add a little more to it because I don't want that red circle to show. So, careful of the petals. And you might need to move your petals out when you glue it on. But I'm gluing it on the red circle that holds the bells. And if your bells are too long, take a twist tie, a zip tie, heck, you can even use medical tape, and shorten the bells to the length that you want. You can always adjust that. You don't have to go with the length that they created when they created the bell. And you don't have to just go with Christmas flowers and a Christmas wreath. You know, I should have done something like that instead of that gold bow. I like the gold bow, but I like that too. You can do a myriad of things. You can play and figure it out and, you know, like different things, and that's fine. This was going to be for Halloween wreath, but I was thinking, and I'm just playing right now. I haven't glued it, but what I was considering was right here. But we've also already got that bow, which is cute, and it's on its own. It is cute. I don't know. It seems like there needs to be a little something more. I just haven't figured out what the sparkle part of it, you know, the little bit of something. that I want to add to it might be. Now, that's cute, but I don't like the white there because we've got so much white already. So let's grab one of these little poinsettias. This one looks good. This little red poinsettia. What we're going to do is in the bow, in the V of the bow right here, we're going to poke this part through the hole in the bow, right below that bell, so it sits like that. So that's easy to do when you want to move your leaves out of the way and get your glue on. And just poke it through and move the bow flaps so that the stem of the flower is underneath them. And hold it. Now, I think it needs something else to hold it in place because it's still loosey-goosey. So I'm lifting the petals up, all right? And I'm gonna put some glue on the vein of the petal and burn myself. But I'm not gonna glue down every single petal because I want some of the petals, I don't want it to be, just a sec. I don't want it to be flat, plastered flat, you know. I want it to be a little bit 3D. So I'm only going to put 2 petals glued down to give it that. Now I want you to look at this. This did not have the green stem, so I've put the glue directly on the base of the flower. And I'm going to hide the zip tie with it. If the zip tie or whatever shows on the back, it's going to be against a door. So it doesn't matter. Now, look at your thing, and I've got some things right here, a gap where I can see the twine through it for the wreath, and I don't want that to show. I would like to cover that up. So I'm going to take, and since we've got white up here, I'm going to put some white down here on the bottom, I think. This is red, white, and gold, and that was not planned. That was a happy little accident. Kind of like Bob Ross and his happy little trees. I happen to have happy little accidents, happy little crafting accidents. And if you need to hold something while it's got hot glue on it just for a second, you know, Mom, Bobby hit me, or whatever. Or Mom, we got a pig, you know, toddler. Or even just you know, answer the phone, whatever. Do that. But then you want to tuck your petals back behind some of the decorations that it's going among. So it doesn't look like an afterthought. Let me show you what I mean. See how I tucked the berries? I kind of take this and you tuck the berries a little bit. Tuck this leaf under the pine cone a little bit, like that. That's it. But yet we still see twine right there. That's okay. We can fix it. Chill. I was given this. What's that, you say? That is a sleigh and some reindeer. Some evergreen bough. It's little Christmas miniatures. A little season's greeting. We have purple in the wreath. That might be cute. I haven't decided yet. But get some of this stuff. You can even use kids' toys. Especially if they're broken and they're little toys like this. Don't throw them away. See if you can craft with them. Here's a little Santa. Here's a little Santa. So let's put a little Santa there, you know. I don't really like this. It looks too fakey fake for this wreath, plus the color combo is not right. What I'm going to do, I want to look at the sleigh and reindeer real quick. Oh, here's a good one. I've told you about this before, but see, you remember these your kids get them in their cupcakes if they're having school and having a party, or they get them out of a quarter machine or whatever, or you see bags of them in the store and you don't have kids, buy them anyway. You can either put glue on these and bury them in the twine so that just the snowman shows, which is what we're going to do, or you can snap the ring part off and just use the plastic, use that. So we've got this reindeer here, and we got a sleigh, and we got a Santa. But see, we're missing a reindeer right there. No biggie deal. What we're gonna do, where did our Santa go? Hold that thought. There's Santa. And it looks like this Santa actually does go with this sleigh. So sweet, but he popped off. He just gets snapped back in there. But I'm gonna put some hot glue on his little pole, his little stem, and just like a flower stem, we're gonna pop it, glue him to his sled. Let's glue Santa to his sled. Put a little glue on the sled itself. Go ahead and cover that hole, that's fine. And put a little glue on Santa's rump. My mom used to tell me she wanted to glue me to my seat when I was a kid. I had a teacher threaten to do that. What can I say? I was a little bit, I like to annoy people. I still like to annoy people. Hey, you gotta have fun where you get it. Now, see, this one snaps in too. So we're just gonna put a little bit of glue on that, on the bottom. See where that comes through? Put a little bit of glue on the bottom there. That's just gonna hold it, and I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right there. We might put something there. That's just gonna hold it so that it won't fall off. Now, I've noticed something. This one does have reindeer on both sides, but I think that's going to create a little difficulty. So if we need to, we can always take these reindeer off on the inside. Just pull them off. Pull them off, and that leaves us a more flat surface. So what we're going to do, we're going to put glue here, 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 and here. All right, so let's do that. We're gonna glue the runner on the sled, go all the way down it, and you gotta move a little quick with the hot glue. So we've got glue on the sled. Now we're gonna glue the stems, and we're also gonna put a little bit of hot glue down the runner of the reins. Okay? Be careful and don't do what I do. Now take this and just place it wherever you want it. Just nice and neat, but you got to work a little quick. If you don't work quick enough, that's fine. Don't panic on me. If you can't poke it through the twine because there's a flower in the way, glue it to the flower. And then glue that, well, I'll show you. Glue it to the flower first. Step 1, glue it down. However you need to glue it down to get it down. Now his sleigh, I didn't move quick enough. So I'm just gonna add a little more hot glue, because the dried hot glue will act as a raise up. You know, so it's not so flat. It might hold a little bit more. And I gotta move my pine cone. That's the cracking you just heard. I didn't break it, but I gotta and when you're doing plastic like this, you might need to press harder than if you didn't. All right. Now this little reindeer here didn't glue down. You're gonna have, when you're doing plastic pieces like this, you're gonna have to go back and add a little more. Try not to add too much hot glue to the plastic piece itself, or it might melt it. So we're gonna add some to the flower, and we're just gonna push his head into the glue. It'll dry clear, it's okay. But that way he'll be on the sled and be visible, you know. The size differential bugs me a little bit, but I'm neurotic. Maybe the person who has this isn't as neurotic, or their little kid likes it or whatever. Who knows? Who knows? So just glue it down and push kind of hard. Don't break the plastic, but you do got to push kind of hard to get it glued down. Now you have some extra hot glue here that got on the flowers. Just pull it off. And if you can't pull it off and it's stuck on the flowers like that, don't panic. Grab yourself another little filler flower. Or if you're me, you lost it. Grab your another little bitty flower right here and glue it over the dried glue just like so. And I'm going to push this under the deer a little bit so that it looks like she's on top of the flower a bit. There, now Santa's on. Is it perfect? No. But I don't think Santa's... I'm not perfect, so my wreaths aren't perfect. But there's Santa. Wait a minute. See, I think I messed up. And I only saw it when I saw it. I got it pushed under, so I need to... You might break your pine cone a little bit if you're like me. But that's okay. Adjust it. And there's Santa going up the side with the reindeer. Okay. Now, we need to fix this purple flower. I love the little guy, but he's a bit of, well, it needs assistance. We have a little light. Let's check and see, because this thing might be a little too little. I'm not sure, but I'm going to use it just so I can show you how to use something like this. If you got something like this, what I want you to do is put glue on the stem all the way around it. Glue that really good. So, and a good tip is when you go to pick up your glue stick, check the level of the glue so that you can don't have to fix that while you're mid craft. Sorry, sometimes I say when I'm losing my train of thought. But I'm going to kind of heavily glue this. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is pick up this leaf, pick it all the way up, and I'm going to put this against the twine and put the leaf over top of it and push down. Number one, the leaf will prevent my fingers from getting burned with the hot glue. Number two, I'm gluing not only the leaf that wanted to stick up, but I'm also gluing the light onto the wreath form. All right, we got a big gap here. I mean, Mondo Gappo. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use these little evergreen boughs, but they don't have a good place to stick the glue. This time, I want you to check your glue level before you use your glue stick. Do as I say, not as I do. Tanya, do what you're trying to teach people to do. Bad human. Put a little glue on the twine. And don't be afraid to go a little heavy, especially something like this with all the little pokies. It's not going to want to lay down quite well. So put the glue on there and then glue her down. You might burn yourself on this, so don't let your kids do it. If they're little, you handle the hot glue. And now take another one. Now where this one ended, let me pick this up. Where this one ended right there, see all that? See all that? That's what we're covering up. So we're going to put glue halfway on this one and then go all the way down, and then we're going to stick it like that, and we're going to continue with the third one so that it's, and I'll show you what it's like when it's done. So again, pick up your glue stick, check your glue level on the bottom of this one and on the twine. You want to do it both because this is going to be one that's not going to want to stick real well. All right, so put a heavy amount of glue on there. Now take your evergreen bough Move down a little and put it on and press. And I will show you how I got it on there so you can see what I did. Good thing I love my friends. See how I overlapped it? Now we're going to overlap one more because we still have a little piece right there where you can see. I want to cover the twine up on the front. It doesn't matter if it shows on the back. Who's going to look at the back of your wreath? They need to quit examining it so close. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Now, if you get this done and you're still not happy with the light situation and you want to add more lights after it's completed, you can do that. You're just going to have to wind your lights around your decorations, and we might do that. I'll show you how to take an existing set of these decorative battery lights and create a set you like. I've got one that's got the leaves that I was using earlier and some of that decorative stuff. That's just it. It's decorative. You can pull those caps off. Now let me show you. That's the end of that. See? Now, when you look at it, you can still see more right here. Whoops. No, you can't because you're out of camera range. Haha. Right here, we still got gaps where you can see the twine. So let's pull from our things to make, and we're going to see if we can't put something in there to fix that. And I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that I've overlooked before. I know, I can't sing, but that's okay. You didn't come to hear me sing, huh? Give me a second, please. I know what I'm looking for. I just gotta find it. That's too big. Give me just a sec. Ah! Found it. I found it. I found it. This is an ornament. You can get them at the Dollar Tree for a pack of 8 or 10, 12 maybe. Really thin little guy. Cut this, the gold twine, cut that off. So grab your crafting scissors and let the ornament hang, and then grab it with your, put it against your thumb and hold it like that so you can hold the string up and not drop the ornament. So you're holding it just like that, see? And then clip that right at the base. So you're taking that off. And you're left with this. What we're going to do, we're going to put it, and the reason why I'm doing this is because there's light there I don't want to disturb, but I feel we need something there. So I'm going to push it down in. His legs will not be visible. See, this is how he's going to set. All right. So what we're going to do there, because we're going to use his legs for the glue. His legs will not be visible. So put glue on the legs like this. I'm kind of going to go heavy because it's going to be the only way to hold this. We're not going to put glue on the back. And then move the decoration up a little. You know, the ones that are already there. And use the flowers to push it down. Because if you move sometimes another decoration to put one behind it, an existing decoration, it might pop it loose. Okay? And again, I'm going to come back through and add some super glue. Because if this is in the weather, hot glue won't be the only thing. We'll need more than just hot glue to hold it. And see, this is not the snowman. Santa rather is not holding right well. So I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to push some up so it beads at the tip. And I'm going to come in underneath the sleigh and just add a little bit of super glue where he touches the decorations so that the hot glue will hold it there till the super glue dries. You've got 2 levels of stick. So I'm going to go around here real quick and just very gently add some super glue underneath the decorations in certain areas. You can pick the spot. It doesn't, you're not perfect here. We're not perfect. But dang, I need more super glue. I should invest in the Gorilla Glue company. I really should. I'm going to add some super glue on that guy because he's kind of a... See, you... Hold on. It's got me. And just go around because the hot glue might wear off before the super glue, so that your wreath is not going to fall apart on your customer or whoever you gift it to. If they put it outside in the weather, what have you. It's just insurance. That's all. It's just a little bit of insurance. And this also gives you another look at what you've created after the hot glue dries, so that you can see if there's any spots that need a little extra help, a little extra gluing down. So it's always good to look at your creation a second or even third time after some time has gone by, so that it can kind of tell you where it needs help, so to speak. By you can see where decorations are sitting well or not sitting well. Yuck. Look. But I'm going to use that, so I'll just pull it off my fingers and onto the wreath. Now, I want more lights on this. I really do. So, sticky hands and all. I'm going to spin around. I'll be right back. Something you need to keep in mind. Some of these have black wires on the lights. Some do not. So, you need sometimes lights with white clear wire, so it's not going to show up badly, which is what I'm digging for. Just give me a sec to find it. I'm looking for those ghosts that I had the other day. But now, sometimes all you can find is I've got these. They're pumpkins, but I can fix that. First, pull your thing out. As you can hear, they do fall off. So what you're going to do is unwrap your lights. So you pull them apart and just unwind them a little bit. They wind them up for packaging. So just hold them open with one hand and just unwind them. Sometimes you have to do that. All right. I need one more battery, so I'll go get that in a sec. What you're gonna do is pull off these pumpkin decorations. They just pop off like that. So you can reuse these pumpkin decorations. Don't throw these away, because you can glue these onto another wreath or pop them on another existing set of lights. That little bugger's stuck. Yeah, and keep these, pull them off and keep them. Okay, can't get that one off, can't get that one off. That's all right, we can still use it. Can't get that one off. Let me get another battery. I'll be right back. I have to unbury myself. Me and this glue gun go rounds, I tell you. I will show you how to get in these battery compartments. Let me go get another AA. Now these batteries from the Dollar Tree, they take 2 AA's. Some of the wired fairy lights that you can get off Wish.com or Amazon can take up to 2 to 4 lights for one string of batteries. Ouch. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Now, I like to light these up when I wrap the lights because then I can see what I'm doing visually because it's more difficult for me. If it's not difficult for you, you can wind them unlit. It's all personal preference. Yeah. Now, if you didn't see my other videos, here's my screwdriver for this. I'm showing you the diameter so you can have the proper screwdriver. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Hold on, I think I got the wrong screwdriver. Sometimes I can't see either. That's what I just showed you was not the right screwdriver. This one is. Here's the difference side by side because it's very minimal. I can't remember which one I need sometimes. There it goes. Sometimes if you're doing this alone, you might need to set it down. I'm having trouble. Give me a minute. See, I'm doing this by feel. That's not good. I just dropped a screwdriver. Oh, another thing I was going to pick that up later. Another thing I was going to suggest, when you're crafting, or when your kids are crafting, especially if you got to use tools like a screwdriver or a pair of pliers, which does happen sometimes, make sure they wear shoes. Because you spill things, glitter, little balls. All right, I can't get this open. My hands are covered in crap, and I can't get the battery off. So if you'll just give me a second. These batteries are cheap. They are cheap. That's why you have to fight with them. If they're more expensive, you might not have that problem. However, if they're more expensive for you, they're going to be more expensive for your customer. Because you got to pay for your time, your talent, and your supplies. All right, I've almost got it. And yes, I said your talent. You're creating this. You're valuable. All right? Your talent is valuable. This is your artwork, your creation. So when you price these items, don't just price based on how much you put in financially, which you do got to. That's why I get cheap stuff that sometimes I have to fight with, because I don't want to cost my customers a lot of money. If I got a ceramic that I pay $20 for, and then I have to use a lot of paint on it, say I have to use 3 complete bottles of one color, and it runs me completely out. And then I got to use, say, 4 other colors. So I got to figure those complete bottles in the price. I got to figure in the price how much of my brushes got destroyed, because I got to replace that, all that. So that's got to go in the price. And the statue was $20 to begin with. Then I got to pay for my time. Say it took me 3 days. I've got to pay for those 3 days because I couldn't do anything else during those 3 days to gain money. So I had to devote attention and time to my craft just so that I could do this for them. That's got to be paid for. See how tiny that screw is? A good thing to do, even if you don't paint, grab one of these from Walmart. It's in the painting section. It'll hold your little screws so you don't lose them. And then you also have to figure in your talent, because everybody's talented at something, but maybe they don't have the time or the inclination, the want, or even the talent to buy or to make what you've made, and they want to buy it. You better. If you don't, I will find you, because I will be upset, because you're worthy. I had to learn that. That is one of my most recent life lessons. If something used to cost me $10 to make, oh no, don't tell me I did that. Got it. It fell in my shirt. If something used to it took me $10 to paint it, I would only charge $10. I would only charge $10. And then that, so then I didn't figure in my brushes. I didn't figure in my paints, I figured just give everybody the cheapest price so they'll buy it. So what if they don't buy it? But you do not short yourself. Now, if it costs me $10 to get it, and then I'll add money for paint, for brushes, then I add money for my time. I sold a statue for $50 for one statue. I sold a 4 set of planters I painted for $20 per planter. Why did I do that? Not because I want to be mean or money hungry, but because I want to value my own talent. If you don't value yourself, who is going to? We got lights. Now let me see if I can pull these off. I'm trying to grab the edge of my blouse. Sometimes you need to grab something to get purchase when your hands are covered in gunk. And sometimes they're just stuck on. And I can't get a grip. All right, anyway. This is what they look like when they're pumpkins. This is what they look like when they're not. We're going to use these pumpkins. We're just going to hide them. First thing we need to do is a battery pack. Do not glue side with the screw. Flip your rice form over. And now we've got a gap in this wreath form because, like I told you, the lights broke. So we're going to put this one next to the other battery pack, side by side. But put it rump to rump, because this one has a switch. So put it side without the switch to the battery pack to battery pack. Don't have to touch. Leave a little bit of gap for airflow. Check your glue before you use your glue gun. I'm teaching myself too. Put it on the opposite side and put a whole bunch of hot glue, because this will give you your quick stick. Say that 5 times fast. Quick stick, quick stick, quick stick. Now, on the wreath form, put the super glue. Doesn't have to be a lot. Good thing payday's almost here. I need more super glue. Press it for a few seconds till that hot glue dries a little or cools enough to take hold. All right, that should be good. I'm still covered in glue. That's all right, I'll use it. This white flower needs to be glued down a little bit. And, all right, now, your wreath is almost complete, but you decided it needs more lights. So get your battery pack glued down. Now, watch your decorations and weave your lights through your decorations. So we're gonna do, because you gotta hold your wreath form with one hand, so you're gonna use the other hand to put the decorations, the wires rather, under the decorations. This is why I like to do the lights before I do anything else on the wreath form. And then go up and around and bury it again. And say you're like me, you could not get the pumpkins off, but this is the only other light set you've got. Yep. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that pumpkin is near a leaf. And we're going to glue the pumpkin under the leaf to the wreath form, or as close to the wreath form as we can get. That way the light will still shine through, but they don't have to actually see the pumpkin. But first we want to wrap the wreath. Don't worry about that until you get the wreath wrapped in the lights. Okay? So you can go through the legs of the deer like I'm doing here. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Wrap your lights, and then if you need to, you can always hide the wires after. Criminy, you're a little bugger, aren't you? But yeah, you need to go under flowers, around things. This is why we do things like lighting our wreaths first before we create them. Because, my dears, this is a pain in the rump. But that's okay. I'm not going to wrap this around the back like the first one I did. I'm just going to layer it back and forth among the bottom a little bit, because that's where I need the lights, in my opinion. So I'm just going to do it, lay it on the front. Now what we're going to do, because we had to lay it on the front, not only because we had to lay it on the front, and I got to hurry up my batteries. I just got a low battery warning. What I want you to do is move your petals and stuff so your wires are hidden, especially if you don't have clear wires. All right, and then I want you to take your glue, and I want you to glue over top of those wires, glue a few of your flowers down. All right, just like this. Now, if you need to add a flower here and there to hide your wires, that's perfectly fine. You do that. But I'm going to just go around a few things to create some light where there needed to be light. And it will be just fine. Now, those pumpkins that I couldn't get off, like I said, hide those. Add a flower, add a pine cone, glue them to the wreath form under a leaf, under a... You want to generally put them under flowers. Pine cones and stuff you can still see around. And, you know, stuff. So you want to be careful doing that. But, there again, if you don't have a choice, just glue it down and add another little pine cone or wherever to where you can still get your light to work. And don't call attention to it. When you go to sell your wreath, don't say, oh, I had this problem or that problem and I did this and I did that. If you point out the flaws in your design, you're going to lose a sale because they know you're not proud of what you created. Understand? Don't, and that goes with people too. Don't point out other people's flaws or your flaws. to other people. I used to do that. Now I'm going to put on this pumpkin some glue directly on the pumpkin and glue it directly to the form. Then I'm going to glue the leaf over the pumpkin so that I still get the light, but you can't see that it's a pumpkin, because this is all I had really to work with. And this last slide goes under the berries, and then up through, and I'm gonna put myself glued to the wreath if I'm not careful. I'm gonna grab another little poinsettia, or let it grab me because my hands are covered in glue. So learn from me and don't cover your hands in the glue. Move the petals away from where you're going to put the glue so it doesn't glue itself down. And just put it right over the wires. All right, I'm going to do this 2 or 3 times. So I'm going to have to hurry because I'm still getting low battery warning. But I wanted you to see what happens, how you can still have light if you have to do something like this. Don't fret it, just fix it. Not a big deal. Unless your phone dies like mine. Now I've got a pumpkin where I can't really hide it. So I'm gonna grab another flower and I'm gonna put it on the wire right above or below the pumpkin, right below the pumpkin, so that a little bit of the orange of the pumpkin's gonna shine through to give us another color, but you won't know it's a pumpkin unless you go moving stuff around. Because orange is a pretty color. Oh! And I've got one more to hide, but I can't really get to the wreath form without lifting up some other decorations. So that means there needs to be more glue there anyway, because you don't want your decorations to fall off. And it's okay to use more glue than you had to, than you thought you were going to have to. Doesn't mean it's going to be ugly or anything like that. Don't panic on me. All right. Let's see how this looks. Now, I accidentally buried the deer that we put on there earlier. Why am I holding that up? Duh. There we go. I buried the deer we put on earlier. You can see its head right there. But still, I don't think that's bad. But here's the wreath. Is it perfect? No. But it's homemade, so you don't exactly want perfect. But here's the wreath. I'm going to add a few more poinsettias to cover holes that I can see, but I have to quit because my battery's getting low. Happy crafting. I will leave Gail's information in the description box for her YouTube channel, and this will be available as well at the auction. I will try to leave a link in the description if I don't forget. But check her out, Overcoming the Obstacles, on YouTube, and then she usually links her Facebook page. I hope to see you at the auction.